All right. Hey everyone. Thanks for checking out my about video for CaseStudiesLounge.com. In today's presentation, I want to talk a little bit about what this project is about, why I started this, and what you can expect from it, and some miscellaneous info. So here's going to be a brief overview of today's topics about video. Anyway, here's a quick introduction. First off, here's my mugshot. My name is Bajio, and I'm from Hong Kong. And here's a little bit of a backdrop to my experience in internet marketing. When I was 13 years old, I got my first online marketing course, I guess. Back in the days when you can set up an AdWords campaign, never check it again, and have it run on complete autopilot for a long time and rake in thousands of dollars. Obviously, that's just a pipe dream now. Anyway, I got my first start in online marketing when I was 15 around then, and I remember doing a bit of work in building email lists, e-commerce, and SEO mainly. Link building then truly was a nightmare, and the landscape has changed so much since then, and I'm really looking forward to what I think of as, SEO version 2.0 in 2013. Anyway, if this sounds, kind of impressive, it's not really. It really isn't. During that period of time, I never made very much money, and if you've been around internet marketing for a while, I'm sure you can resonate with that. That there's only so much you can learn, and the rest of the journey really revolves around, struggling with mindset, attitude, and personality. For me, it was very similar. Now, I always thought of my background as a very academic one, so it was very difficult for me to make that transition as well. So, and I guess because of that, I never made very much money then, obviously. And I don't have, I got into $100,000 in credit card debt from going around in seminars, flying around and participating in events, buying courses before finally making it and turning around the situation within months of becoming a millionaire type of story. I don't have that. If you're expecting that, sorry, I do not have that type of story. So fast forward to now, I'm a uni student, okay, and I'm majoring in computer science. However, I was burnt out, frustrated, and fed up with the fact that this has gone on so long without sufficient results to justify my time. So I gave myself a full year to finalize this. I'm either going to make it or it's going to be a complete no-go forever and after. So in other words, 2013 is my year. It's either a make it or sink it type of thing. And so what I've done in the past few months is bearing fruit right now, and I'm very positive about what's going to happen in the second half of this year, and I very much hope to share what I learned along the way with you guys. Anyway, that is quite a mouthful. Anyway, that's enough about me, so let's dive straight into this presentation. Firstly, what exactly is Case Studies Lounge? The short answer to that would be learning internet marketing through case studies, and the underlying concept is in analyzing different businesses and learning from them. So, why use case studies as an angle? First off, the websites nowadays, or in any given point in time, that are surviving and thriving are always equipped with the latest strategies, tips and tricks that we can learn from and apply to our own websites. The best thing about this is that it's completely free, it's tested, but most importantly, it's current. So you can think of this as, of this analysis as resulting in a giant checklist, of best practices and all that kind of good stuff. Secondly, I think that 90% of products, okay, info products out there, they focus a lot on generalizations and not a lot about specifics. You might have heard of terms that are commonly used in, internet marketing products like complete systems, blueprints, strategies, and methods. And, these are great high-level abstractions. Wonderful, but examples, please. I often think back, to the whole thing, to do with Chinese whispers. I refer this to the Chinese whispers effect, because at the end of the day, this really is a perception distortion thing. Because there's so much to talk about these high-level abstractions. I mean, there's so much going on that I think what's real, okay, and what's really what I refer to as what's happening or what's going on an as-is basis, okay, often gets distorted. And because people, they don't see what's really going on, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, what competitors are doing, they have this type of perception distortion as to what's truly going on in the internet marketing game. And case studies, real life websites that are in operation currently are a surefire counter to that. Thirdly, I think that this project is, for me, an ongoing learning effort. Granted, I guess I've started and ended so many projects in the past I can't even count them, but this is something I'm really going to commit to for at least a year, but I think it's probably going to be longer. Anyway, my take on this is simple. I have rarely heard of anyone getting their first course, okay, or getting their first piece of information and just making it out there, and just immediately succeeding, period. It just doesn't happen. And I think it's really the person who constantly, tries things out and, learns new things through trying and through reading blogs, participating in forums and all that kind of good stuff. Really balancing between executing plans and learning. That's the type of person who can succeed fastest. And in addition to, just doing, I think doing is very important, okay? I think that taking action is a huge stopper for a lot of people between getting from where they are to getting to where they want to be. Apart from that, however, I do think it's really important to learn, okay, to continue learning, because you want to make the best use of the time that you have currently. So, at the base level, you can learn from your mistakes, okay, and you can kind of like tweak your campaigns and, make them better, or maybe if they're losing money, and then you can turn them around to make money, actually. Or on a higher level, you can take your campaign, optimizations to the maximum level. And I hope to be the person to deliver that information to you. So who is it for? Who is it, meant for, this project? Here's my breakdown on the level, I guess, of internet marketers. I know this is kind of like a crude type of classification of marketing experience. It really should be by sales and experience that we classify marketers. But let's focus on the description for now. For entry-grade marketers, I guess you will find tutorials on the what's and how's, like, kind of like the principles of marketing tutorial showing you how to use various pieces of software, a bit of technical information, and this marketing, I guess, specific corners of the web, but that's not really the focal point of this site. For intermediate marketers who have a bit more experience and are actually making money, okay, you'll find loads of discussion on best practices on how to actually do various things on topics I'm going to talk a little bit about later. There's going to be exploration that's focused on around select topics, okay, and analysis of business models so you can apply them to your own businesses. Some really great growth targets to look for, as well as some possible lateral expansion as well. In terms of diving into different business models, okay, some unconventional ones, or if you're starting, for example, if you're really great starting with affiliate marketing, how can you perhaps expand your business to include a bit of e-commerce or a bit of CPA marketing, etc. So that would be for intermediate marketers. Now, for veteran marketers, if you have loads and loads of experience in this, I think you might find a couple of select branches, a bit of depth exploration here useful, as well as some high-level tactics and strategies and various select case studies useful. But I don't count on getting there quite yet because I'm personally not on that level yet, right? So you can probably see that this is mainly geared towards intermediate marketers. So hopefully you'll glean something useful during your time here. So what's the focus of this project, of this website? Before I picked my final couple of topics to focus on, I considered a wide range of topics. For example, blog optimizations, content marketing, copywriting techniques, experts, case studies, their success stories and all that. Joint venture strategies, keyword research tactics, lead capture, best practices and case studies in terms of optimizations and split tests for squeeze pages, niche research strategies for building e-commerce sites and affiliate sites, outsourcing in terms of the most cost-effective avenues, how you can probably get what you'd usually pay for a couple $100 for like $5 on Fiverr.com or something if you know how to look. Excuse me, guys. Social media strategies, a corner of tools that you might not be so conventional. History of internet marketing. That's just purely for interest. Internet marketing trends over the years and how to spot them. Tools to help with that. A resource center. Insightful websites. Okay, like blogs, market leaders. Folks you should definitely pay attention to, and many more. In the end, however, I think I boiled it down to about 3 areas in terms of the focus of the site, because these are what I want to learn most and what I intend to specialize in. And secondly, I'm personally in for depth exploration and not lateral exploration, because I'd rather have an in-depth understanding of a select few topics, while executing and trying out various things and learning at the same time, rather than a broad understanding of a large number of topics, but not something that's not very deep. And also, I consider that it might be very difficult or impossible to illustrate via case studies. Okay, so I chose these 3 to be my final focuses. That'd be e-commerce, product launches, and monetization strategies in general. So, lastly, here's what you can expect from this site or project. There are many ways to go about doing case studies. For example, I can do entire sites, portions of sites and multiple sites, and I can do presentations, I can do screencasts, etc. But my overall theme here and the goal here is to be able to go as high level as possible whenever appropriate. Like, for example, analyzing business models, so that might call for a comparison across different sites in the market, and all the way to the little details that matter, all the way to those split tests. Like, for example, how changing the color of a background page can possibly increase conversions and change conversions, right? So that's what I hope to achieve. And while I said it's going to roughly revolve around these 3 areas of focus, I'm not going to bind myself completely to it. And if I find something valuable to share that jumps, beyond the scope, I will discuss it. And I'm really hoping to keep this discussion short, but succinct at the same time. My idea for these would be to hover around 15 to 20 minutes, but that's just my preliminary idea. I will reserve, I guess, the right to change that length, depending on user feedback and what you guys think. And I'll also experiment, I guess, with a couple of video editing and various features, to do with different software and presentation formats and all that kind of good stuff. And there will definitely be notes at the end of presentations whenever appropriate to link to resources, okay? So that's going to be that. And the content will mainly be video, but whenever appropriate, I definitely will do text. Whichever is most appropriate to share, my vantage point, I guess, I will do that. And last but not least, I'll be updating a major, I guess, weekly video cast of a case study every Monday morning at around 11 a.m. But I'll also be releasing smaller presentations, things I just think are useful around different topics during the week. So please be sure to stay tuned for those. Sorry, guys, something wrong with my voice today. Anyway, once again, my name is Baggio. Thank you so much for checking this presentation out. And if you have any questions, thoughts, and comments, please drop me a line at casestudieslounge.com/contact. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much once again for checking this presentation out. Take care, guys.